Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre, who's campaigning in southwestern Ontario on the front lines of President Trump's trade war. Poilievre laid out his economic platform this morning in St. Catharines, and tonight he's in Canada's auto capital, Windsor, for a rally.
All of these policies combined have been calculated to boost our GDP by $500 billion spread over the next 5 years. This will be like rocket fuel for our economy, causing money to pour back into factories, shipyards, new homes, business centers, and other places that generate paychecks for our people.
Poilievre is calling this the Canada First Economic Action Plan, taking a page from the book of his old boss, former Prime Minister Stephen Harper.
We're at the port in St. Catharines, Ontario, a major shipping stop along the Welland Canal. Trade and the economy are top of mind of voters, and this is where Pierre Poilievre announced his economic action plan with policy he had previously unveiled. Now, he says it will be modeled on the plan that former Prime Minister Stephen Harper brought in to deal with the 2008 and 2009 economic crisis. Poilievre actually mentioned his former boss several times and the fact that he was a member of that previous government. Harper gave Poilievre his endorsement earlier this week. This is really an attempt to harken back to the last time the Conservatives were in power and a play on that government's management of the economy. But it comes as Harper's former Director of Communications continues to slam this campaign. Corey Teneycke, who also ran Ontario Premier Doug Ford's last campaigns, calls Poilievre's election campaign a disaster for having lost what was a massive lead in the polls over the Liberals just a few months ago. I asked Poilievre about that.
Liberals and lobbyists want me to stop talking about high food prices. Well, I'm not going to do that because single mothers shouldn't be going to bed hungry, worried about how they're going to feed their kids in the morning. They want me to stop talking about the doubling housing costs during the lost Liberal decade. I'm not going to stop talking about that. They want me to stop talking about the rampaging crime that's overtaking our streets and the overdose crisis Liberals caused that has taken the lives of 50,000 people. I will not stop talking about that either.
Poilievre was also questioned about local Conservative candidate Bas Simers. He has been part of an anti-abortion campaign in the past. The Conservative leader promised that if elected, his government would not pass any laws restricting abortion. He says that has been the party's policy for the last 2 decades and one that will be explicitly outlined in his election platform.